Guys, I've got some qualms about this whole thing with the Gillette commercial. So I hadn't watched it until 2 minutes ago because I don't know, I just hadn't found the time, but I was assuming based on people's both positive and negative reactions that it was really political. It's not. Really at all. Number one misconception is that the Me Too movement is a political thing. It's really kind of not. It's hi, we're out here getting harassed. Please stop. So the first qualm I have about this is that there's a lot of people out there who think that the idea that sexual assault is bad is controversial. What? Also, even if you have issues with the Me Too movement, it is 3 seconds worth of the entire commercial. 90% of it is two main messages. Don't be mean and don't be a pervert. So that seems pretty basic stuff. That's common sense, right? That's not controversial. Hey, if your son is being bullied, help him. And if your son is bullying someone else, tell him to stop. And if your friend is being, creepy to girls, tell him not to. And, hey, we should set a good example for our children. Right? So, that's pretty much, most of the content of the Gillette commercial. It's basic stuff. So why is Piers Morgan saying it's an attack on all men? What? He's feeling attacked by an ad that tells him to be nice and not sexually harass people. He's got a problem. Is he hearing him? Has he actually watched the ad? Also, to the people who are wow, that was so brave. Okay, the idea that, again, you should be nice and not sexually harass people is not, some out there wild concept. It isn't, radical. That's just kind of run-of-the-mill stuff. That's, how you should treat people. And Gillette has been hey, we see some societal conventions that are reinforcing negative behaviors, so we're gonna point them out. And people who are wow, that's so bad, is some of the stuff it talks about are the boys will be boys kind of concepts, or oh, man up, it's not that bad, or haha, it's funny when we harass women. As far as the boys will be boys thing goes, people who are defending that concept are acting either beating the shit out of somebody else or getting the shit beat out of you is inescapable, integral, incredibly important part of becoming a man, and you can't do it without it. And I just are you sure? Does it need to be that way? Is that good? Do you want to think about that? I don't know. This is the whole concept of man up, that whole thing goes. Okay, we're not saying you should never be tough and that you should just tell your feelings to everybody, but a ton of men feel they can't share when they're struggling because they're men, they should never struggle. And that's why suicide rates for men are so much higher than suicide rates for women. So, is that a problem we want to keep? Do we want to cling to that? I don't know why you would have a problem. And then there's that whole thing about standing up for women who are being sexually harassed. I honestly don't see why that's a bad thing. Although there's some people who are oh, women are being way too sensitive about that. Okay. You may not have experienced it, so it might be easy to think that, but as a person who's faced a lot of sexual harassment, I can definitely tell you that it's it sucks, and it's a big deal, and if people stand up for you, it is way less awful. So just please, stick up for us. To recap, the Gillette commercial is just basically saying, be nice, don't harass people, and let's maybe take a look at the societal conventions that are kind of preventing us from getting rid of those behaviors, right? That's not political, that's not controversial, it's just be decent. So, if you think it's really controversial and attacking you that a commercial wants you to be decent, please think about reevaluating the way you live your life. Thank you.